Welcome everybody to Run Amok. I am your host, Javen Takar. Folks, you read the title. You know what we're getting into. It is just about the season. Training camp is wrapping up. We're going into NFL preseason. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring it all in and let's gather around the training campfire. Disclaimer, if you hear some loud noises, my neighbors are getting some work done and people are leaf blowing outside. Just want to get that out there. Hopefully you guys aren't able to hear it. Now in this episode, we're going to be going over 4 teams. And in the next episode, be prepared to hear about some of the rookies. Today, we have the 49ers, the Green Bay Packers, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the New York Jets. 4 teams that I think are having an interesting offseason. 4 teams that, maybe hot or not going into the next NFL season. So let's start things off with the red and gold, the San Francisco 49ers. They've got a quarterback battle going on with Sam Darnold of all people, Trey Lance, and Brock Purdy. I say it's a quarterback battle, but really it's probably a QB battle between Sam Darnold and Trey Lance for quarterback 2, because it sounds like Brock Purdy is the man. It sounds like he's going to be the starting quarterback for the 49ers and expects them to lead them to victory, to the Super Bowl. They've been on this quest for 6 for years, since Colin Kaepernick was in the league. However, despite Purdy being the guy, Trey Lance is shining. He's taking his opportunities. Brock Purdy's coming off of an elbow injury, so he's having some days off. Those are the days that Trey Lance takes the QB1 reps, and he is taking the most with his time that he's got. Trey Lance has all the tools in his toolbox to be a star quarterback in the league. The only thing that he needs is the time, the chance, the opportunity, which he's not being given in San Francisco. But let's not diminish anything that Purdy's doing. He is also looking good. Now, however, both these quarterbacks have had their ups and downs, no doubt about it. They've had their days where they look like they should easily be quarterback 1. They've had their days where it looks like they should be quarterback 3 behind Sam Darnold. As a matter of fact, I wrote here in my notes, Brandon Allen. Yeah, no, he should not be taking reps from anybody. Trey Lance only getting like 5 throws a day. Brock Purdy's getting a little bit more than that. We're splitting the reps too much between the 3 guys. And I say we because I'm a Niner fan. I apologize if I'm sounding biased. There's no way we're able to get consistent reps for any quarterback 1, splitting the reps between 3 quarterbacks. There's just no way. We've got to see Lance throw the ball more. We've got to see Purdy throw the ball more. Sam Darnold should be quarterback 3. There's no reason he shouldn't. I'll talk about the defense. The 49ers defense has consistently been one of the best in the league, and they are doing just the same this offseason. They're getting pressure on the quarterback, of course not hitting them. They're getting interceptions, especially on Brock Purdy. Ooh, no shade. And this is all without Nick Bosa, who is waiting on a contract extension. He's the reigning defensive player of the year. There's no doubt they get a deal done. And we've got to talk about Mr. Brandon Ayuk, wide receiver 2 behind Deebo Samuel last year, but he is balling out. He can do it all. He can go vertical. He can take a slant to the house. He can catch the posts in the middle. He can do it all. He's physical. He loves getting down and dirty. He loves contested catches. Brandon Ayuk is going to have himself a breakout season. He had 1,000 yards last season. Who's to say he's not going to get 1,500 this season? Now, of course, the team is stacked. You've got CMC, you've got George Kittle, you've got Deebo, you've got Ayuk. That's just on the offense. That amount of star power can take you far. This team is going to go as far as the quarterback will take them. Now let's head over in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Green Bay Packers, no Aaron Rodgers for the first time in how long? You've got a new quarterback, Jordan Love, who's been sitting behind Rodgers. He's been hopefully learning for the past, 2-3 years. And I've seen so many ups and downs from him. I've seen he's struggling. I've seen he's shining. From what I saw, he had some great throws. He looks pretty solid, but is that going to translate in a real game is the question. Because there's some throws where it looks like, hey, that would be a sack in a real game. Obviously, in training camp, they're not going to touch the quarterback, so he's able to get the throw off. However, in a real game, he might be going down a lot more often than you may hope. The receivers are looking real solid, though, which might be an attest to Jordan Love. Shout out. Christian Watson, he is going to be the wide receiver 1 for this team, no doubt in my mind. No disrespect to Romeo Doubs, though. He's also doing his thing. I'm a big fan of him. Second round rookie Jaden Reed, he looks real fast. He could be a solid receiver 3 for this team. Going over to the defensive side of the ball, rookie Lucas Van Ness, he's looking real solid. He's going to be a good pass rusher for them. But of course, the big story is Jordan Love. How far will this team go? Honestly, listen, as great as I'm talking about these guys, this could be a 4-win team. I'm sorry. Of course, they still have talent. You've got the receivers that I named. You've got Aaron Jones. You've got some guys on the defense. This season is going to be a big test for Matt LaFleur. How can he do with a new quarterback? How can he do with all the spotlights on him? I feel like Jordan Love has some potential, but it really comes down to Matt LaFleur. How is he going to coach the guy? This can be an interesting team to watch. Again, I don't think they're going to be that great personally, because it's Love's first year. He hasn't seen the field much. He's going to have some growing pains, but I do think the future is bright, and that's what Jair Alexander also said. The future is bright for this team, and I do believe that. I think Jordan Love will be able to carry the weight, maybe in 2-3 years though. Now let's head over to the AFC, the Las Vegas Raiders. No Derek Carr for the first time in a decade. We got Jimmy Garoppolo coming from San Francisco. He's working with Josh McDaniel. They were working together in New England. Now they're in the black and silver. And really, he's had some struggles. He's had thrown interceptions. He didn't pass his physical for a while. But it sounds like the team has his back.
Jimmy's confidence has been only growing, and you've seen that today, for the last 2 days, to be honest. He's just getting better, and he's trusting himself, and that's really what it comes down to. It's a mental game. Everybody's talented in the NFL, but your mentality's got to be elite to be a great player. So Jimmy's getting better and better, and I'm super hyped for him.
No Josh Jacobs because of the whole running back contract market situation, and Devontae Adams, he's upset about it. He does not like it. Honestly, Adams could be a name to watch for to get traded to the Jets, who we'll be talking about coming soon. I don't think he's going to get along well with Jimmy Garoppolo in the season. With all due respect to Jimmy, he throws a lot of picks. He can't throw the ball too deep. And so I think that Adams will be upset. He'll probably request a trade, and I expect the Jets to come in and soup him up. Max Crosby for the Raiders, he's looking like a beast. Overall, this team, again, kind of like the Packers, they're not going to do too great. Might be able to sneak into a wild card spot, but that's cutting it. It's a tough, stacked division they're in. It's a tough, stacked conference, the AFC. You've got Joe Burrow and the Bengals, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert. 2 of those teams I just named are in the AFC West. And of course, you got the Denver Broncos coming in with a new coach and Russell Wilson. The Raiders could probably go 4th in the division and end up with a top 10 pick. That's probably more likely than them going into the playoffs. There's just a lot of holes on the team, and nothing really seems like it's going to come together. Now let's head over to the East Coast, the New York Jets. The biggest story in the offseason, Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. Wow. And honestly, his veteran presence was very much needed for this team, though. You've got a lot of youngsters. Quinnen Williams, who I still consider young, Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall. Even their coach is technically kind of young because he's second-year head coach, third-year head coach. Garrett Wilson, speaking of which, he's going to be huge this season. He had a great last season, offensive rookie of the year. Love to see that. He is going to be a star. He might become a Pro Bowler, honestly. Sauce Gardner, come on. Defensive rookie of the year. He might go for defensive player of the year this year. He is going to be a star in this league. He's a top 10 corner, top 5 even. He got some picks off of Aaron Rodgers, some pick sixes. Man, he's looking good. So now, of course, with Rodgers here, this team is getting a lot of media pressure. With a lot of youngsters, not great. They're on Hard Knocks, this and that. They've got high expectations, but I think Aaron Rodgers, Mr. Veteran, he's really keeping the team composed. He's teaching the young guys how to deal with these high expectations, this much pressure, this much media coverage, and I think that they're going to do a great job. Robert Saleh, he's saying, embrace it. Let's beat these expectations. And like I just talked about, this AFC conference is stacked, so it's not going to be an easy task. In the AFC East, really anyone can take that division. You've got the Bills, you've got the Dolphins, you've got the Patriots, a really talented pool of teams. So you're going to have to be clawing. Every game is going to matter for the Jets. There's rumors swirling around that they're going to sign Dalvin Cook, which would be a nasty duo with Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall. First, Breece Hall just coming off of an ACL injury. And then Dalvin Cook, he's old, but he's still got some juice left in the tank. So honestly, not having a single workhorse back, just going between those two, it's going to be perfect for the both of them. Let's talk about the defense for the Jets, because boy, that defense is underrated. You've got Quinnen Williams, Carl Lawson, Jermaine Johnson, who's coming into his second year. I really hope to see him really break out of his shell. and be a star in the league. Will McDonald, the rookie that they got, he's real solid, kind of old, but really solid. I expect some big things from him. CJ Mosley, of course, the veteran of that defense, the middle linebacker, he does his thing still. Sauce Gardner, of course, as we talked about, that secondary is no joke, because across from Sauce Gardner, you've got DJ Reed. What a cornerback duo that is, huh? And then in the safeties, you got Jordan Whitehead from Tampa Bay and Adrian Amos. Hey, that's Rodgers' buddy right there. So the Jets, they've got some big names. They've got some big expectations. I think that they're going to do it, though. I'm rooting for the Jets this year. I do think that they make the playoffs, and I hope to see them make a run. Now, are they going to take down the Chiefs or the Bengals? That's going to be a little tougher. With Rodgers, I think anything is possible, but it's the youngsters. Are they going to be able to handle the bright lights? And so that's going to wrap up this episode, folks. I hope you enjoyed this episode of gathering around the training campfire. Stay tuned for the next episode where we go over some rookies. We've got Bryce Young, we've got CJ Stroud. Follow the TikTok, follow the Instagram at Run Amok Sports. I appreciate you for watching, and I hope to be more consistent in these uploads. I appreciate you. Peace out.